when you hear that death rattle. It's not just a fight or a battle. Prepare for lots of blood and gore. It's Spintown with some more bad wars.
Welcome to Spintown, everyone. I don't know how many of you are going to remember this, but back in January of 2022, me, Jack, Mark, and Wesley, we all got together and started doing the Bed Wars challenges in fours, and I uploaded our efforts in a series of 4 videos on this channel, which showed how we did each one. And at the very end of the last video, I said this. Finally, we did all 30 Bed Wars challenges in fours, one after another. We knocked them down, but my journey isn't over, because now I'm going to do them all again, but this time solo. Some of you are probably wondering why I never posted a video of me doing all these challenges in solos after saying that. And well, honestly, I just procrastinated. And when I say procrastinated, I mean I procrastinated hard. More than a year and a half went by before I tried to do any of them, other than the Selfish Challenge. I've always done that when I play solos. I've done it so much, I'm #1 in all of Hypixel with that challenge. But it wasn't until August of last year I did the Renegade Challenge and Can't Touch This Challenge. And both of them were pretty easy for me. I had to be a little careful about fall damage with Can't Touch This, but I played the way I normally do for the most part. So the next day I did Collector, Lazy Miner, Social Distancing, Swordless, Marksman, Warmonger, and Ultimate UHC. Now I didn't save clips from all these. This one's from Warmonger, and I think the next 3 are from Ultimate UHC. And the reason I didn't save clips from all of them is because I wasn't in a call with anybody having a conversation. So there wasn't really any funny commentary or anything going on between me and my friends to hold someone's interest. And I did these challenges the way I normally do solo Bed Wars for the most part. So there wasn't always a lot of interesting gameplay. It was just very typical Spintown games. So I decided to just save clips that I thought might be interesting, like me doing the Ultimate UHC one. I got down to a half a heart and had to be extremely careful. Even with these pearl throws right here, one bad pearl throw and I'm going to die just from taking a little bit of damage. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, but I didn't save all that much. But I gained some confidence from these first 2 days and I continued. So the next day I did Slow Reflexes, which was pretty easy, and the day after that I did Protect the President, Minimum Wage, and Diffuser. And I was very curious to see what diffusing a bed was like, because in fours I wasn't the one who diffused the bed in that game and when we won, so I didn't get to see it. There's a few clips from this game. I hit a long shot right there, and then I'm going to double tap this guy, and then the next one shows me seeing what it looks like to diffuse a bed for the first time. And you'll see me like pause just for a second, like, oh, okay, what do I do? But it's really easy. It wasn't hard at all. And after this, I think I did Assassin next. Again, these are just like built for me to do. The way I play solo Bed Wars, it makes 20 of the 30 challenges so easy that I don't have to change much or hardly anything about the way I play. Not enough to make it difficult. And then I did Master Assassin right after I did Assassin, just because, yeah, figured it would be another easy one, and it was. I like the fact that I got an egg bridge kill while still doing a challenge. And I didn't even need to do an egg bridge kill. It wasn't like I had to do that right there, but I did. Then we double tapped there at the end for the win. And then with the next one, it was a regular shopper. Didn't change the way I play at all, but there's this really toxic guy in there. After he kills the guy, he's talking mad trash, and he says, "You're next, Pink." And I'm like, "You sure about that, Mr. Toxic?" And he's like, "Holy moly," when he sees my stars, and that's a lot less stars than I have now. But I was glad he was the last one in the game aside from me, so I can final him. And he doesn't know it yet, but he's dead now. He went too far on that bridge. You can't back out now. If he tries, whoop, back you go into the void. He was not exactly happy about that. So the next challenge was also very easy, but the game was very hard, and that's because I got recognized. It wasn't because of the challenge. So not only did I get recognized, I got recognized by somebody who knows me very well. They know how I play, and they also get a punch bow a lot. They play very similar to me at times. So he rushed middle just like I did, but he bridges faster, so I decided to take his bed and give up the first spawn of emeralds, which means I know he's going to get a punch bow before me. And I decide, you know what, I'm just going to try to chase him down and try to PvP him with an iron sword. Unfortunately, I could not catch the guy because, he runs in the middle like I do. And I got my iron sword, gave up trying to catch him, came back to get a bow and some fireballs so I could have some sort of projectile. I'm going to need it since I know he's going to have a punch bow, as you can see right there. So he went and got more emeralds. I split some emeralds with him. He's trying to get back and spend them, and I missed with my fireballs. Well, I didn't miss, but I didn't get the kill. He threw an egg bridge there too, so it was going to be very hard to actually knock him off when he was looking for a fireball or something. But now, going back to middle, and I got a regular bow, but I'm still thinking I need to get a punch bow. The two things I usually try to get is a bow and pearls, but a regular bow against this guy is not going to do me a whole lot of good, and I only have one inventory slot, so getting pearls isn't really going to help me if I get yeeted. I'm not going to be able to pearl and save myself. I'm not going to be able to switch to it quick enough, and sure enough, he got me with the punch bow. So now I'm dead, but I managed to go back to middle, get a couple M's, and he pearls in after me because he was still trying to kill me, and he kills me and breaks my bed. Now, he should have stayed in base and finaled me, but he ran out. And I think it's because he was worried about spawn protection, because as a punch bow rusher, you normally don't have good armor, and he has no prot, and he's in leather. So he didn't want to risk it. Close quarters combat, even though he had the punch bow, so I think he would have been able to kill me easy enough. But after dodging arrows and getting a few more M's, I managed to go invis, and I'm going to try to put him in the gap between a couple of these islands. I get him exactly where I want him, yeet him right where I want him, but he pearls and saves himself. So, yeah, the only thing that did was give me time to run around middle and pick up more emeralds. And after doing that, I was able to get my own punch bow, and we can have a punch bow war, but I also have to watch out for Yellow, who's also got a bow trying to kill us both in middle. So we got 3 people with a bow, all taking shots at each other. And I'm just thinking, I just got to kill Ning. Whoever wins that fight wins the game, and I ended up killing him, thankfully, and I knew I'd be able to kill Yellow. I just couldn't focus Yellow the entire game. That's the only reason he was able to live that long. I had to worry about Ning. But, yeah, got the challenge done. And next I had to do stamina. And it really wasn't much of a problem for me. Same with the Patriot Challenge, which I did next. But weighted items, which was the next one, gave me a little bit of a problem. I mean, I wouldn't say it was hard. It was just annoying. Like, I use a lot of items that would have been weighted heavy, I guess. Punch bow, pearl, and tools. So it was just annoying to have to, like, sprint jump around the map to move. That was the fastest way I could get around. And, yeah, not super hard, but just annoying. But I looked at the challenges I had left after doing that one. I'm like, oh, this doesn't look fun at all. So I took a 10-month break from doing challenges other than the selfish one. When I came back, I did capped resources and ended up being pretty easy. Not a problem. After that, we did Invisible Shop, and it was anything but easy. I hated this challenge a lot. I did have to use a lot of items I normally don't use, like doing water bucket clutches, killing people with egg bridges, which I do that a fair amount now anyways. But yeah, just because you don't know what you're going to get a lot of times when you're buying stuff, you just got to use whatever you get. So a lot of improvising, a lot of not fun times, and like this clip right here. I got so excited, I saw I got a bow. And I would go out there to shoot the guy off, but he fireball boost in. And it's not a punch bow, it's just power. And I couldn't kill him before he fireballs me out. I was mad in that clip, I'll admit. But I finally got a game where the guy just rage quit. He didn't want to have to deal with me in a bow. And I just, walk in and get the bed and get the win. Red light, green light was next. I was dreading this one, but it ended up not being that hard. Or I got really lucky. I did it in like the first or second try, I think. Old man. This one's a pain in the butt for somebody who double taps. I don't use sprint key. So I would fail this challenge left and right accidentally from double tapping. So this one would be up there with the hard category for me, just because it's nearly impossible for me not to double tap. But Pacifist ended up being pretty easy. I mean, I guess this would be middle of the road challenging for me. So at this point in my quest to do all the challenges, I decided to take another break. And it wasn't to procrastinate, it was a strategic break. I wanted to wait until ice bridges were back as an available rotating item, because the rest of the challenges I had to do all made bridging more difficult. And bridging for dummies here, I thought I was going to get an easy win in my first try, but that last guy pearled and saved himself when I thought he was AFK, and he came back and killed me. Well, we had to keep trying. And with this challenge, I basically just used the ice bridge to go back and forth between the Diamond Island, and I was trying to get Emerald Forge so I could get geared up. And yeah, most of the time it didn't work out too well. And there were some times I would have to try to rush my neighbor. And you know, I surprisingly ended up winning some rushes, but that's not a good strategy for me most of the time. I don't have the skill set to be good at doing that. With Toxic Rain, again, I was content to just go to the Diamond Island and try to gear up my forge. But sometimes I would, again, have to try to take out my first rush. And, again, sometimes I would manage to trade beds or take them out completely. But not a good winning strategy for me to have to try to do this on the regular. So this will never be something I, like, do without having a challenge on. But, you know, you do what you got to do when you're handcuffed with some of these challenges. And both Bridging for Dummies and Toxic Rain, I put way up there as like two of the harder ones for me to do in solo. But when I say they're hard, it's not like they're impossible for me to do. It's like maybe I had to play 8 games before I got it. But, you know, if you just keep grinding at it, eventually things just end up working in your favor as long as you're smart about it and you have a plan. You'll get a neighbor who doesn't want to rush right away. It gives you time to gear up. You have a couple people kill themselves that you didn't expect to kill themselves and give you an easy win. You snipe somebody across the map like I did in Toxic Rain. Here's a better look at it in a replay. You don't get to see the Toxic Rain part in the replay, but you saw it a second ago from my point of view. So you'll get an easy kill like that across map to give yourself a win. You just got to keep plugging away until things go in your favor. Now, Standing Tall, not as hard as Toxic Rain and Bridging for Dummies for me, but I still put it up there in the hard category. If it wasn't for ice bridges, I'd have been totally screwed. I would have never got the middle without killing myself like 10 times, and at that point, somebody's going to be in your base, your bed will be gone, and yeah. And a lot of times, I would have to, again, improvise with the materials I'm given. The ice bridges were big as far as me getting the middle normally, but, you know, in this particular map without Amazon, if somebody else rushed middle, I might have to 1v1 somebody or try to get to a different base after I got the middle, because you can't just continually run in a circle in this one forever. There is a big hole in the middle, but it's not a huge circle. And eventually they will probably catch you, and you're never going to be able to get enough space from them if they keep chasing you for you to run into a base safely. So it's not like on Amazon. On Amazon, I can run forever a lot of times. But yeah, it worked out in this one too. I ended up getting a victory and moving on to the last challenge, which if you've been paying attention, you probably have realized I haven't done Woodworker. I absolutely hated doing this challenge. Number one, because when I play Bed Wars, I want to use my gold to get a bow and arrows so I can be offensive. That's how I kill people generally. But in this challenge, I got to use all my gold to buy blocks just so I can get around. I couldn't use the ice bridge, but I found out I could use castles, and that came in very handy. Another reason why I absolutely hated this challenge is because the first 2 times I think I tried it, I was able to buy wooden tools, but then, for some reason, the game was glitching, the server was, and I was having to do the Woodworker challenge while also doing a no tools challenge on top of it. That's right, it wouldn't let me get a wooden pickaxe or a wooden axe after my first couple times. I don't know why. Hypixel just said, hey, you're almost done. I think it's been a little too easy on you. So we're going to make it a little bit harder for you on this last one by throwing a challenge on top of your challenge. And okay, fuck you, Hypixel. I'll do it anyways. I didn't try to figure out the problem. I didn't go into the forum and complain. I just said, you know what? I'll do it. You can't stop me from my mission. I'm almost there. I will do this, and then I will rub it in your face when I make a video saying, you couldn't stop me, no matter how hard you tried. And this guy right here is trying really hard. He's chasing me. And the castles, I don't know if you saw, but I used them to slow him down as I was bridging just so I can get the middle. And I do it again on the way back. And it gives me enough time to actually buy the punch bow. And then from here on, I can play more normal. But I did end up losing this game later on. So, yeah, because you can see I have tools. This is like the first or second time I played probably. So, the next game, which I think the next clip is from the next game, yeah. Look at that. You see? It's not letting me buy any tools. And that's the way it was from here on out doing the Woodworker Challenge. So, very annoying. But, despite it already being a hard challenge for me, we took on the challenge of the challenge. And, yeah, I just looked at it the same way I was earlier with everything we were doing. I was like, okay, let's just try to be smart and have a game plan with what we do have and keep plugging away at it, and eventually I'll be put in a position and I'll get a win. And this guy right here, it's a 1v1, and he's getting mad, and he's like, 1v1 me, bow spam kid, not realizing we are already 1v1ing. There's nobody else in the game. He just doesn't want me to use a bow, but it's still a 1v1. So after I kill him, I say in chat, you've been 1v1'd. GG. Just because I know he was raging and I wanted to make him rage more. But there, you have seen me take on all 30 challenges for a second time, this time in solos. I'm thinking about doing it in doubles and threes at some point, but I'm not going to commit to it. I think I will. So thank you for sticking through this video all the way till the end, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully not doing challenges other than the selfish one. Spin out.